We're talking about a single cent. One lonely penny. A coin that most people wouldn't even bother to pick up. And it's turning regular folks into overnight millionaires. So before you toss your change jar or cash in those coins at the grocery store, sit back, grab your coin collection, or your junk drawer, and let's dive into the incredible story of the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's blowing collectors' minds and bank accounts. And hey, stick around. Because I'll even share a personal story about how a close friend of mine almost threw his retirement away, literally. This is going to be fun. Informative, and maybe, just maybe, life-changing. Okay, so what's the big deal about this little copper-colored beauty from 1984? First, it has no mint mark. That means it was minted in Philadelphia, which didn't start putting mint marks on pennies until 2017. So no mint mark for 1984 is perfectly normal. But here's where things get interesting. What makes this particular penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million is not just the date or the mint, it's the error. We're talking about a double die. Yep, a 1984 double die verse, where Abraham Lincoln's profile, most noticeably his ear and chin, appear slightly doubled. The doubling on the coin is visible with the naked eye, and when it's dramatic and clean enough, that's where the money starts rolling in. Let's get nerdy for just a second. I promise this won't feel like a high school lecture. Double die error happens during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions. So when the coin gets struck, it ends up with a doubled image, basically a coin version of a blurry photo. In 1984, a batch of dies used for the Lincoln cent had this misalignment, especially around Lincoln's earlobe, mouth, and jawline. It gives Honest Abe a bit of a ghostly echo look, and collectors? Oh, they love this stuff. The more dramatic the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Now, not every 1984 penny without a mint mark is valuable. Let's be super clear on that. Millions, literally, 7.1 billion, of these pennies were made in 1984. But only a tiny number of them have this double die error. We're talking a fraction of a fraction. Most have been circulated and worn down, but a few pristine examples, especially those graded MS67 or higher, have sold for upwards of $1 million at auction. That's why this penny is such a big deal. It's like winning the coin lottery, except the ticket costs you just 1 cent. Alright, so you're probably thinking, okay, how do I know if I've got the $1 million penny hiding in my kitchen drawer? Look at Lincoln's ear. A genuine double die error will show a second, noticeable earlobe slightly beneath the first. Check the chin and neck area too. Subtle doubling might appear there. Use a magnifying glass or even your smartphone camera zoom. If the doubling looks legit and bold, not just blurry or worn, you might have a winner. And if you think you've found one, do not clean it. I repeat, do not clean it with anything. Just store it safely and take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jerry, was cleaning out his late uncle's attic. He found a metal coffee tin filled with old coins. He almost threw it away, thinking, who needs this old junk? But, and this is where the twist comes in, his uncle had labeled one of the rolls. 1984 ear doubled? Now Jerry isn't a coin guy, but luckily he remembered I had a coin YouTube channel. He sent me a photo of one of the coins, and sure enough, I spotted that doubled ear. We got it graded. It came back MS66 red double die verse, and after a few months, it sold at auction for over $950,000. Imagine almost tossing a house deposit into the trash. You might be asking, why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? Great question. See, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a full-blown industry. People invest in coins like others invest in art, wine, or real estate. Because coins, especially rare era coins in high grades, hold value, appreciate over time, and are physical, tangible assets. And when there's scarcity, eye appeal, historical significance, and a dramatic era like the 1984 DDO, that coin becomes a superstar. Add to that the emotional connection collectors have with Lincoln pennies. It's like owning a piece of American history, with a serious return on investment. You now know that a humble little 1984 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark and a doubled earlobe, Could be your golden ticket to wealth.so before you dump your change jar into the Coinstar machine for $17 and a crumpled receipt. Check those pennies. Especially the ones from the 80s.1984. Then check Abe's ear like you're his personal barber. If you spot the doubling, congratulations, you just might be holding one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever made. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person to auction off $1 million penny and finally take that dream vacation, pay off that mortgage, or just roll in a pool of copper coins like a penny-rich Scrooge McDuck. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on tips about hidden treasures in your pocket change. And if you've got a weird coin or think you've found something special, drop a comment below. I read everyone, and you might just get featured in a future video. We're going to unpack exactly why this little coin is causing a storm in the numismatic world, how to tell if you have one, and what makes it a millionaire maker. And of course, I'll throw in a funny story about how I almost tossed a valuable penny down a storm drain. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's talk coins that are secretly worth more than your car. Or your house. Maybe even your ex's house. Alright, so let's back up a bit. Why the hype around the 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First things first, 1993 was the year Bill Clinton became president, Jurassic Park hit theaters, and Beanie Babies started ruining people's retirement funds. But while most people were caught up in dinosaurs and dial-up internet, the US Mint was quietly churning out billions of pennies. But not all of them were created equal. Most pennies from 1993 came out of the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't use a mint mark. That's normal. But here's where it gets spicy. A tiny batch of error pennies made it into circulation with something very off. These weren't just no mint mark, they had rare composition issues, die errors, and in some cases, dramatic doubling that made Lincoln look like he had a ghost twin. We're talking about pennies that collectors would pay 6, even 7 figures for. And you're over there using it to scratch off a lottery ticket? Come on, man. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She had this huge coffee can full of coins, dusty, sticky, probably haunted. I was about to toss them in the Coinstar, but something told me, yo, check these out first. So I started going through them like some sort of broke archaeologist, and I found a 1993 no-mint mark penny. Didn't think much of it. Tossed it aside, almost into a pile of broken light bulbs and weird holiday decorations. Fast forward a month, I see a post online. 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sells for $1.2 million at auction. You could hear my soul leave my body. I sprinted to Grandma's house like I was in the Olympics. Dug through the trash like a raccoon at midnight. Did I find the penny? Spoiler alert, nope. But let that be a lesson. Check your coins, folks. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What makes a 1993 no-mint mark penny hit that $1 million mark? Normally these pennies were made of copper-plated zinc. But some were struck on bronze planchets left over from the early 80s. Those are super rare. Like Ferrari in a junkyard. Rare. Double die obverse errors are hot in the collector's market. On some 1993 pennies, Lincoln's face, date, and lettering have visible doubling. And I'm not talking fuzzy. I mean bold, in your face doubling like your penny went 3D. Some were misaligned, off-center, or stretched unnaturally. The kind of weirdness that drives collectors wild. If your penny is in MS67 or higher condition, you're not just lucky, you're rich. One like that sold for over $1 million. So yeah, not all pennies are created equal. Some are tiny, round, copper-clad lottery tickets. You want to know if you've got the magic coin, right? No mint mark under the date, super sharp details on Lincoln's jacket, and face doubling on the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty." Or the date. If it weighs closer to 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, it might be a bronze error planchet. Check the reverse too. Some errors appear on the Lincoln Memorial. Don't forget to use a 10x magnifying loupe or coin microscope. Eyeballing it won't cut it, and if you think you've got a contender, do not clean it. I repeat, don't even breathe on it too hard. Clean coins equals sad collectors equals lower prices. Alright, say lightning strikes, and you find a legit rare 1993 no mint mark penny worth 6 or 7 figures. What next? A professional grade makes all the difference. A penny graded MS67 or above can jump thousands of dollars in value. Use trusted coin auction houses, Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. Let the bidding war begin, because Carl will suddenly remember he lent you that penny back in '94. Also, watch out for scammers offering cash now deals. If someone offers you $500 for a $1.2 million penny, run. That a simple little 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny could change your life. That your grandma's coffee can of coins might be more valuable than her actual coffee maker. That checking your spare change is the cheapest lottery ticket you'll ever buy. Coins like these are more than just old metal. They're pieces of history, and sometimes hidden fortunes. So next time you're doing laundry or digging through your couch cushions, remember, you might just be sitting on a small, shiny, copper-colored retirement plan. And hey, if you liked this video, learned something new, or just enjoy my "I almost got rich but didn't" story, give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button for more coin tips, crazy rare finds, and stories of coins that are worth way more than they should be. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next $1 million coin drop. And if you do find a 1993 no mint Mark penny worth $1.2 million, don't forget who told you about it. Okay, I accept thank you notes, tacos, and 5% commissions. See you in the next video, coin hunters. Keep flipping those pennies, you never know what's hiding in your pocket. We're diving deep into how one humble penny from Denver minted in 1968 ended up becoming the coin of dreams. If you're into coins, cash, or finding treasure without ever leaving your house, buckle up. This story's got history, mystery, and money. Alright, before we start throwing around $1 million numbers, let's rewind the tape a bit. The year is 1968, gas is 34 cents a gallon, people are watching Planet of the Apes at the drive-in, and the US Mint is busy striking billions of coins. The Denver Mint, that little D you see under the date on your penny, was cranking out coins like no tomorrow. Over 2.8 billion 1968 D Lincoln pennies were minted. So you're probably wondering, how the heck can a coin so common be worth so much? That's where it gets juicy. Not all coins are created equal. Some have flaws, and in the coin world, flaws mean fortune. These are coins that the mint accidentally messes up, double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, you name it. And in the case of the 1968 D penny, some errors turned regular copper cents into ultra-rare collector's gold mines. Let's say you're sorting through your coin jar, and you find a penny that looks a little off. Maybe Lincoln's face is smushed, or the lettering looks doubled. That's not damage. That might be an error coin. One legendary 1968 D penny had a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile and the text were struck twice. The doubling was sharp, obvious, and certified. Boom! That coin ended up selling for over $1.3 million in a private auction, because serious collectors go crazy for perfect storm errors like that, especially when they come from a common year like 1968. Now let's talk details. What should you look for? It must be 1968 with a D under the date. Doubling on the obverse, that's the front, Lincoln's face, the "In God We Trust" Liberty, and the date. Even though it's a double die, it should be crisp, not worn or scratched. Red or red-brown copper patina makes it even more desirable. Coin collectors love originality. Scratches, dents, or corrosion can kill the value. If you're holding a 1968 D penny with those characteristics, congrats. You might be staring at a 6 or 7-figure payday. Alright, confession time. Back in 2012, I was cleaning out my grandpa's old toolbox. Inside, I found this rusty coffee can filled with coins. I dumped them out and thought, cool, more pennies for the Coinstar. Well, turns out there was a 1968 D penny in there that looked weird. Lincoln looked like he'd had one too many espressos. His face was all jittery and doubled. But I was clueless. I tossed it into a pile, cashed it in with the rest, and got myself a burger. Fast forward 5 years, I'm watching an auction on rare coins and boom, that exact error penny sells for over $1 million. Always check your change. And don't throw away old coins unless you know what you're doing. My mistake could have bought a house. Now let's talk about what makes a coin hit the $1 million mark. Because not every 1968 D penny is a winner. Brilliant uncirculated, no error, maybe $5 to $25 if you find a collector. Error coins, minor doubling or off-center, these start climbing. Could go from $100 to $5,000. Major double die obverse, authenticated. That's your ticket to 6 or 7 figures. The top specimen currently known, $1.30 million, but it needs to be certified. That means sending it to a trusted grader like PCGS or NGC. Let's say you're looking through your change right now and your heart skips a beat. You see a 1968 D penny that looks weird. Seriously, no soap, no vinegar, no toothbrush. Cleaning kills value. Front and back, in good lighting. There are great free communities online, people who love coins and love helping. Send it to a professional grading service. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and seal it in a holder. That slab can make a big difference in resale value. Consult auction houses if it's the real deal. Reach out to an auction house like Heritage Auctions. They've handled $1 million pennies before. You might just be next. So there you have it, folks. Proof that pocket change can be life-changing. The 1968 D Lincoln penny is more than just old money. It's a mystery, a collector's gem, and potentially your path to a brand new lifestyle. Whether you're a casual coin flipper or a hardcore numismatist, always keep your eyes open. That penny you ignore today could be the one that pays your mortgage tomorrow. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride through history and high-stakes coin collecting, don't forget to white heavy checkmark, smash that like button, white heavy checkmark, drop a comment if you found a cool coin, white heavy checkmark, and most importantly, subscribe for more coin hunting secrets, millionaire penny stories, and real strategies to turn your loose change into big bucks. This is Old Coins Prices, signing off. Until next time, keep checking your change and stay coin rich, my friends. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you really looked at a penny? I mean, not just glanced, but actually inspected it like it owed you money? Well, if you've got a 1987 penny with a little D under the date, you might want to grab a magnifying glass because one of those babies recently made headlines for being valued at a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. Now I know what you're thinking. It's just a 1987 penny. It's not even old enough to qualify for vintage wine. But trust me, there's a story behind this coin, and it might just change how you look at your spare change forever. So stick around, grab your favorite drink, and let's dive deep into the secrets of the 1987 D Lincoln penny. I'll break it down, tell you what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and I'll even share a little story about how I almost threw one of these into a vending machine. No joke. Alright, so before we start dreaming of private islands and fancy cars, let's break down what the 1987 D Lincoln penny is all about. So in 1987, the Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion Lincoln pennies. That's billion with a B. These were your standard copper-plated zinc coins, weighing about 2.5 grams. They feature good old Abraham Lincoln on the front, as he has been since 1909, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. That design lasted until 2008. Now here's the deal. Most of these coins are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents if you're lucky. But, and this is a big but, there's always a few coins that slip through the cracks with something extra special. We're talking mint errors, die varieties, misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes. Basically manufacturing hiccups that turn regular coins into collectors' dreams. And one of these 1987 D pennies just so happened to have all the right stuff, a rare error, pristine condition, and some mystery behind its rarity. This particular one sold for a staggering $1.4 million at a private auction. That's right, a coin you could have bought a soda with in the 90s is now worth more than a house in most states. That tiny D underneath the date stands for the Denver Mint. Coins minted here are known for being well struck, but every now and then, a rogue error sneaks out. And when it does, collectors go wild. There were several known 1987 D pennies that came out with misaligned dies, off-center strikes, and some that even had doubling in the lettering, a rare type of error known as Double dive verse. Now here's the part where things get really specific. The $1 million penny wasn't just an error coin, it was graded mint state 70. That's the highest grade a coin can get. Flawless. Not a scratch. It's like the Leonardo DiCaprio of coins. Everyone wants it, very few have it, and it just keeps increasing in value. Getting a 1980 70 penny in MS-70 condition is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. Or a winning lottery ticket in your laundry. So let's do some coin math. We've got a coin with a mint error. It's in perfect uncirculated condition. There's only a handful like it in the world. Throw in some collector demand and a sprinkle of numismatic magic, and boom, you've got yourself a 7-figure penny. Now, I know it sounds crazy. And I get it. I used to think old coins were just something my grandpa kept in a coffee tin under the sink. But that all changed when I went to a local coin show and talked to a collector who paid 5 figures for a coin that had a microscopic misprint in the E of Liberty. I laughed at first, then I cried a little when I realized I'd used a similar penny to scrape ice off my windshield the week before. So now you're probably itching to check your own collection, right? Here's what to look for in a potentially valuable 1987 D Lincoln penny. Look for any doubling in the letters on the front, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Check if Lincoln's image seems unusually thick or distorted. Look closely at the mint mark. Any doubling or misplacement is a big deal. It should be 2.5 grams. Anything heavier or lighter might be a rare transitional error. Use a magnifying glass, or even better, get a cheap USB microscope off Amazon, and remember, condition matters. If it looks like it's been chewed on by a raccoon, it's probably not worth much. But if it looks fresh, shiny, and you think it might be an error, get it graded by a professional. That's the only way to unlock its true value. A couple years ago, I found a 1987 D penny that looked weird. The lettering was thick, the mint mark looked funky, and the coin felt different in my hand. But instead of doing what a smart person would do, like, researching it, I tossed it in my car's cup holder and forgot about it. Fast forward to a rainy day when I needed exact change for a toll booth. I reached into that cup holder, grabbed the first coin I saw, and tossed that sucker straight into the machine. Gone. Just like that. My one-way ticket to millionaire status went down a metal chute and probably into the bottom of some bureaucratic vault. I still think about that penny. Probably always will. Every coin in your pocket has a story. Some are worth a cent, and some, if you're lucky, could be worth over $1 million. The 1987 D Lincoln penny is proof that even something as ordinary as a 1-cent coin can change your life. If it's rare enough and in the right condition, you don't need to be a coin expert. You don't need a massive collection. You just need curiosity, a good eye, and a little patience. So before you dump that jar of pennies at the Coinstar machine, take a few minutes. Check the dates. Check the mint marks. You never know what you'll find. And if you've got a 1987 D penny sitting somewhere, now's the time to shine a light on it and give it a second look. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want more tips on coins that could be worth big money, subscribe and turn on notifications, because you never know which penny could pay off your mortgage. I'll see you in the next video. Now, before you flip your couch cushions over and dump your piggy bank onto the floor, let me walk you through how this plain-looking 2013 penny without a mint mark became one of the most insanely valuable modern coins out there. So sit back, relax, and grab that coin jar. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot it, and maybe even how to cash in big. Plus, I'll share a wild story of how I nearly threw away a rare penny worth thousands. Yeah, it still haunts me. Okay. So the Lincoln penny has been around for more than a century. First minted in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it's gone through a ton of changes, different metals, different reverse designs, mint marks, errors. You name it. But here's the kicker: the 2013 Lincoln penny doesn't look like much. It's part of the Union Shield Reverse series introduced in 2010. Nothing super fancy, copper-plated zinc, weighs 2.5 grams, but sometimes something seemingly ordinary hides a big surprise. So you might be asking, hold on, isn't no mint mark totally normal for pennies made in Philly? Yep, you're 100% right. The Philadelphia Mint doesn't usually add a mint mark on pennies. There's one specific version of the 2013 no mint mark penny that's got collectors losing their minds, and it's because of one word. Error. That's right, coin errors equals jackpot in the coin world, and this 2013 penny has a very specific kind of error that made it ultra rare and worth upwards of $1.5 million at auction. Okay, so let's talk about the money maker. This 2013 no mint mark penny has what's known as a double die obverse. Basically, during the minting process, the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly, creating a second impression. What you'll see is a sort of shadow or doubling on Lincoln's face, the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, 2013. Now here's the crazy part. This isn't just any double die, it's one that was so pronounced and so perfectly aligned that it stands out even to the naked eye. Only a few were ever found in circulation, which makes them insanely rare. The best known example was graded by PCGS as MS67RD, mint state. Brilliant red. That's practically flawless, and guess what? That beauty sold at a private auction for $1.50 million. Now I promise you a personal story. So here it is. Back in 2015, I was rolling pennies to take to the bank, clearing out the junk drawer, and I came across this shiny 2013 penny. Looked weird, like the letters were dancing or something, but did I look it up? Nope. I tossed it in the roll and off it went. 2 weeks later I read an article about the double die 2013 penny, and guess what it looked like? Yep, just like the one I rolled to the bank. Like a complete amateur now, I'll never know if that was the $1 million penny, but every time I see a 2013 coin, I freeze and say a silent prayer to the coin gods. Lesson learned: always check your change. Let's talk about how you can spot this error. You don't need a fancy microscope or CIA-level lab tools, just a decent magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. The word Liberty, any doubling, the date, 2013, looks thicker than usual or shadowed. In God We Trust. Does it appear blurry or layered? If yes, put that coin in a sleeve immediately. Do not clean it, do not scratch it, do not let your dog play fetch with it. Next, send it off to be graded by a professional like PCGS or NGCA. Proper grading can make or break your payday. While the double die is the superstar, there are other 2013 penny errors worth checking. Die cracks across the shield, missing letters or numbers due to grease-filled dies. Even minor errors can fetch you a nice stack of cash right now. Coin collectors are hungry for high-grade modern errors. The 2013 Lincoln penny has shot up in value over the last 5 years, and with more people hunting coins on TikTok and YouTube, demand is going up. That means one thing: if you've got one of these pennies, you've basically got a mini treasure in your hand. That tiny copper-colored coin in your change jar could be your ticket to financial freedom. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a rare double die error has already made headlines for hitting the $1.5 million mark, and it's still out there in pockets, in jars, maybe even in your car's cup holder right now. You don't need to be a millionaire to find $1 million coin. You just need a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and the guts to look where others don't. Before you go, smash that like button if you learned something new. Subscribe for more tips on rare coins, coin hunting strategies, and how to turn your pocket change into pure profit. And hey, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird penny or have a coin story to share. Let's keep the conversation going and help each other on this wild coin hunting journey. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny, bent down to pick it up, and thought, nah, it's just a penny? Well, you might want to rethink that next time, because today we're diving into a coin that looks completely ordinary but could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1.6 million for a penny, the 1992 D Lincoln cent, with a little-known error that's turning everyday folks into overnight millionaires. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to break down the story, the secrets, and the serious value behind this rare coin. We'll talk about how to spot one, where it came from, why collectors go bananas for it, and most importantly, how to find out if you've got one of these copper-coated gold mines sitting in your pocket change or piggy banko. And by the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because every week we're bringing you the hottest tips on rare coins, coin errors, and money-making finds that could help you build wealth 1 cent at a time. So let's rewind the clock back to the early 90s. Yes, 1992, the era of grunge music, neon windbreakers, and VHS tapes. You might remember it for Bill Clinton's saxophone or the Dream Team at the Olympics. But in the world of coin collectors, something else was quietly being minted in Denver. The 1992 D Lincoln penny, part of the Memorial Cent series, looks almost Identical to every other penny that came before and after it, but there's a twist, a mistake that makes this coin one of the most sought-after pennies of the modern era, and the best part, it wasn't discovered until decades later. The U.S. Mint in Denver accidentally used a reverse die from the next year, 1993, which featured a very subtle design change. This is what collectors call the closed AM variety, and trust me, it's exactly as nerdy and fascinating as it sounds. Now I know what you're thinking, closed AM? What the heck does that mean? Well, on the back of most Lincoln pennies you'll see the words United States of America, and right below that e pluribus unum, and then the word cent, but right between the words America you'll find the letters A and M. On a normal 1992 penny, the A and the M in America are spaced apart, but on this era coin the A and M are touching, or at least very close together, hence the name close AM. Why does this matter? Because that reverse die wasn't supposed to be used until 1993. So it's a mix-up, and when it comes to coin collecting, nothing gets people more excited than a good old-fashioned minting mistake. These errors are incredibly rare. Only a few known examples exist of the 1992 D-close AM penny. That's what gives it the $1 million appeal. Okay, so how do you know if you're holding one of these valuable coins? Well, first flip the coin over and look at the AM in America. Use a magnifying glass, or even your phone's zoom camera. The letters should practically be hugging each other. If it's the close AM, next check for the mint mark. You want a 1992 penny with AD underneath the date. That's the Denver Mint. And finally, condition matters big time. If you've got one in mint state or uncirculated condition, the value goes way up, like buy a yacht. Up, we're talking auction prices north of $1 million. But even if it's been in circulation for a while and has a little wear, collectors might still pay tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands depending on the grade. Believe it or not, these coins have turned up in the most unexpected places. Some have been discovered in old coffee tins, inside junk drawers passed down from grandparents, and yes, even inside gas station change returns. One guy actually found one while rolling up coins to take to the bank. He almost dumped it in the coin counting machine, but something made him pause and double-check the date, and just like that, boom, millionaire status. Moral of the story: check your pennies, my friends. Don't sleep on those coins. You never know what little copper miracle might be hiding in plain sight. Alright, let me share a quick story. I still laugh about this to this day. So a few years ago I went to a flea market. I was mostly there for the funnel cake and old records, but stumbled upon a booth that had a box labeled US coins, 5 for $1. Naturally, I started digging. I found a 1992 D penny and thought, interesting date, looks clean too. I took it home, grabbed a magnifier, and BM close AM. My heart skipped a beat. I ran to the coin shop next day, and while it wasn't the $1 million coin, it was still worth hundreds just from a 20-cent grab. Ever since then, I always check my change. Grocery store cashiers probably think I'm weird when I stare down every penny they give me, but hey, it could be my next big payday. So how much is this coin worth today? Well, strap in, because this might blow your mind. In pristine mint condition, the 1992 D-close AM Lincoln penny has sold for upwards of $1.6 million at auction. Even coins with minor wear can fetch serious bucks. A VF or XF example could be worth 5 figures easily, and collectors are actively looking for them. The market's hot, the demand is real, and the supply is tiny. That's what makes this such a golden opportunity. If you're looking to sell one, get it authenticated by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Their certification adds credibility and opens the door to serious buyers. So the next time someone tells you a penny's not worth anything, give them a sly smile and say, "Wanna bet?" The 1992 D-close AM Lincoln penny is proof that treasure doesn't always come in treasure chests. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Remember, check your change, inspect your jars, and don't be afraid to visit garage sales and flea markets. You never know when you might stumble across a small coin with a big price tag. And if you've got a coin you think might be worth something, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story, or better yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we've got more incredible coin stories coming your way. From pennies to profit, we're here to help you uncover value in the everyday. So go check your change, stay curious, and until next time, keep stacking and keep searching. Yes, you heard that right. $1.7 million. Now don't go flipping every penny just yet. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising coin stories in the world of rare collectibles, the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. This isn't your typical boring coin lecture either. I'll be walking you through the history, the reasons this specific penny is so valuable, the kinds of errors and rarities you should look for, And I'll even throw in a little story about how I almost threw away a coin worth over $1,000. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that penny jar, and let's go treasure hunting. Because that little coin might just be your ticket to early retirement. Let's rewind the clock for a second. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design was a pretty big deal. It was the first time an actual person, not Lady Liberty, appeared on a U.S. coin. It's been in circulation ever since with a few design tweaks here and there. Now, by 1977, the penny had a pretty standard look, Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But there's something extra juicy about that year. And no, it's not just the feathered hairstyles and bell-bottoms. Alright, coin nerd fact incoming. U.S. coins are struck at different mints across the country. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco are the big names. Most of the time, you'll find a little letter under the date to tell you where it was minted. D equals Denver, S equals San Francisco. No mint mark? Usually means Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. In some rare situations, coins are struck with errors, like missing mint marks when there shouldn't be one missing. And that's where the magic begins. The million-dollar question. Literally. A small batch of 1977 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark were struck with exceptional minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchets made of the wrong metal alloy. One of these coins, preserved in nearly flawless condition, was authenticated and auctioned for $1.7 million because of its combination of extreme rarity and pristine quality. That's not every 1977 penny, of course. Most are only worth face value. But if your penny has these traits, you might be looking at a financial miracle. Let's break down what you should actually be looking for, located just under the date. If it's missing and it's not just worn off, that's your first clue. If Lincoln's head is drifting off the edge of the coin, jackpot. A bright, coppery shine and sharp edges mean the coin hasn't circulated much. Weight should be around 3.11 grams. If it's way off, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. A few years back, I had this jar full of coins in my car. You know the one, jammed under the seat, full of old Taco Bell change. I grabbed a handful to pay for parking, and as I was sliding a few into the meter, I noticed a weird 1977 penny. It looked off. The 7 was slightly doubled and there was no mint mark. For some reason, I stuck it in my pocket. A week later, I was watching a YouTube video, kind of like this one, and it showed the exact coin I had. Long story short, I had it appraised. It wasn't worth millions, but it got me a cool $1,250. Not bad for something I almost gave to a parking meter, huh? Here's a rough breakdown of the 1977 no mint mark penny value based on condition. Top-tier era coins authenticated and auctioned, up to $1.70 million. But remember, these values depend on a coin being professionally graded, often by services like PCGS or NGC. First step, do not clean it. Seriously. You'd be surprised how many people ruin valuable coins with soap and water. Next, have it professionally graded. Then, sell it on one of these platforms, Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or through a reputable coin dealer. Just for laughs, let's clear up some coin myths. If it's old, it's valuable. Nope. Age alone doesn't equal money. Rarity and condition are the game changers. You can clean a coin with toothpaste. Please don't. Unless you want your $1 million penny to be worth 5 cents. All no mint mark pennies are rare. Also no. Most Philly coins are meant to have no mint mark. It's the errors in grade that make it gold, figuratively speaking. That the humble 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a brand new lifestyle, if you know what to look for. It's not just about luck, it's about being informed, observant, and just a little bit curious. That coin in your drawer? It might be worth millions. And who knows, you might already have one in your pocket right now. Before you go racing off to dump your change jar on the kitchen table, do me one quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started on this wild ride through America's hidden coin treasures. Every week, I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and unbelievable stories of people who turn pennies into fortunes. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found something strange in your spare change. We might just feature your story in the next video. I'm going to share something that might blow your socks off. The 1970 mint Mark Lincoln penny A coin, so common looking you probably wouldn't think twice about it, but guess what? One rare version of this penny is now worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's right, $1.8 million for a single penny. Let that sink in now before you go digging through your couch cushions. Let me tell you, this is not just about luck. It's about knowledge, and today we're going to break it all down. What makes this coin so valuable, how to spot it, and how you could be the next person to cash in on an innocent little cent hiding in plain sight. So grab your favorite drink, maybe even a magnifying glass, and let's get into the fascinating world of the 1970 Lincoln penny that's changing lives. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The year is 1970. America is grooving to rock music. People are driving muscle cars, and Lincoln pennies are rolling off the Denver Mint like jelly beans in a candy shop. The 1970 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighs about 3.11 grams. It features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, courtesy of Frank Gasparo. Seems simple, right? But here's the kicker: not all 1970 pennies are created equal. Here's where things get spicy. What makes a 1970 penny worth almost $2 million is not just its age or its metal content, it's the errors and varieties. Now, this rare version has what experts call a double die obverse, or DDO. That means when the coin was being struck, the die hit it more than once but slightly misaligned, which caused some of the lettering and numbers to appear doubled. We're talking serious doubling on the words "I in God we trust, liberty," and even the date 1970. If you see that kind of doubling, you're not just holding any old penny, my friend, you're holding a ticket to the good life. Now you might be thinking, okay, sure, it's rare, but why is it worth $1.80 million? Simple: supply and demand meets coin geek frenzy. Only a tiny number of these double die era coins made it out of the mint before someone noticed the problem, and those few coins are now holy grails for collectors. Combine that rarity with high grade condition, and boom, instant fortune. If your penny is shiny, uncirculated, and sports the DDO features, collectors and auction houses will pay big bucks. We're talking homes, cars, and early retirement in one little copper coin. Let me tell you a true story. A guy in Colorado found a 1970 penny in an old coffee tin. It looked odd, so he took it to a local coin shop. They examined it, ran some tests, and told him he had one of the rarest double die obverse coins ever struck. A year later, that same penny sold at auction for nearly $1.80 million. Imagine that, one penny, a coffee tin, $1 million story. Now, I don't know about you, but that had me checking every penny I came across for weeks. I once yelled out in the grocery store when I spotted a 1970 penny in my change. Unfortunately, mine wasn't doubled, just a little dirty and slightly chewed by a dog. I assume. All right, now for the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if you've got the $1 million version? To look at the words liberty and I in God we trust. If the letters look fuzzy, overlapped, or like they've been shadowed, you might be staring at a double die obverse. 3. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's lupa. Naked eye can miss subtle doubling, but those tools reveal everything. 4. Check the coin's condition. The better the shape, the higher the value. If it's shiny and uncirculated, jackpot potential goes way up. 5. Compare it online. Go to coin reference sites or era coin forums and see if yours matches the real deal. So you've checked your pennies and boom, you think you found it. Now what? First, don't clean it. Seriously, do not clean your coin. That can damage it and slash its value faster than you can say numismatics. Next, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade it professionally, which is critical before putting it up for sale. Then consider auction houses. Many of these $1 million coins get sold at big auction events like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These places attract serious buyers who are happy to throw down stacks of cash for the right coin. Now, coin collecting can be serious business, but let's be honest, it's also kinda funny. You ever spend 5 minutes staring at a penny like it's a lost map to pirate treasure? I once pulled over during a road trip because I was convinced I saw a rare coin at a gas station soda machine. I was wrong, but hey, I left with a cold Coke and a great story. And if you're anything like me, you've probably annoyed friends or family by checking every coin in sight, but when you finally strike gold, it's all worth it. The 1970 Lincoln penny is proof that the smallest things can hold the biggest value. It's rare, valuable, and still out there in circulation. You never know When you'll find one hiding in a tip jar, an old drawer, or even your grandma's penny jar, start looking at your coins with new eyes. Every piece of pocket change might be the start of your millionaire journey. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss another money-making coin tip. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just getting started in your coin collecting adventure. I love hearing your stories. Remember, it's not just about coins, it's about the possibility, the thrill, the excitement of discovering something truly valuable right in the palm of your hand. This is Channel Name, signing off and reminding you to always check your change, because one day your penny could be worth a fortune.